So on this next video I'm doing now, I wanted to talk a little bit about taking things literally. And why do we take things literally, some of us? Oh, blinking heck. Good boy. I've been told that it's part of being autistic, and on the autistic spectrum, people sometimes do take things literally. It's a very complicated situation. I explained it to somebody once, how literal I take things, how they do affect the way I understand. Oh, for goodness sake. Basically, taking things a bit too literally is never healthy and never good. And I remember saying to somebody once that if someone says to me, the sky's green, I'll actually believe, or I instantly go, my first point of thought isn't that they're being silly or that they're being ironic. I think they're being deadly serious, and I think that maybe there's a haze of green they see in the sky. It's not really green. And then I start thinking, well, the sea's blue, but the sea's also green, isn't it? So maybe they sort of think that, where the sea sometimes looks blue when it's very deep, it's kind of green as well, isn't it? And maybe they see the sky, start getting really confused and overthinking. And then I feel I've got to correct them. And that's not my place to do that, is it? Let people allowed to see things the way they want to see them. So I start saying, it's not really green, is it? It's blue. They may just be having a laugh or being silly, but I take it so literally and I get completely consumed with it, and I just start to really struggle with it, and this happens on lots and lots of things. And I think for the past 2 weeks of doing these videos and the research I have been doing with these videos, and the realisation that there's all these different elements to mental health, and I don't just have one or two things, lots of different things seem to come into effect. So we've already discovered that checking the door is more OCD, doing your neck is more Tourette's, you've got different parts. I've got a neck twitch now. This taking things literally is a real pain, and I've been told before I take things too literally, and I don't want to take them literally, but I've allowed my mind to go with that in a negative way. And it's almost like there's a hidden compulsion in that form of taking things literally. Because if someone does say to me the sky's green, then until I get it confirmed that they think it's not green or that there's a reason for it, I get this OCD bad feeling coming, and I'm not able to process things, and I'm consumed with it, and I start researching crazy things and trying to justify what the person said and why I could understand that to be real. And it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter what someone else says. If I was a robot and I didn't have emotions and stupid things in my mind making me feel the way I feel, I'll just go, so what? And I know people like that. They'll say, well, John, it doesn't matter, does it? So what? What they said doesn't matter. Who cares what they think? I'd like to be like that, a little bit more caring, but for some reason I latch on and it becomes part of a habit, part of an obsessive compulsion, and therefore it becomes an OCD. It's purer, isn't it? Pure obsession. It's more mental. But I do think that taking things literally is something that's not necessarily helpful to me. So I can't have conversations with certain people. I sometimes struggle having conversations with people, especially on text. And I had not a falling out, but a discussion with a friend who was, bombarding texts to me about their opinions on things, and they're very black and white. So they were saying, well, all people like this believe this, all people like that believe that. And I found that hard because I took it literally. I said to them, look, I find when you say that really hard, I find it insulting because it's not black and white. You can't say all people like this think like that. This is just an example I'm making for this illustration. It's not far off the truth of what they were saying. I said you could say some people, or you could say that you believe the majority of people feel like this, or from your experience, all the people you've met have been like that. But it's unfair to generalise. So why was I even bothered about their opinion? It didn't affect me, it was nothing to do with me, but because I get very literal about things, take things literally, and things have to be absolutely accurate, it's very, very annoying. They actually then fall into that obsession and compulsion and OCD bad feeling if they're not right. And I've got to really work on these things because it's everywhere in messages and all sorts of things and dealings with people. And how do you turn off from these things? And you can't hide away from messages and comments. So you have to be able to learn some strategy to deal with them. And that's what I'm hoping to do. Basically, this is an overview of something that I've recognised. Because I do struggle sometimes with long text messages. I read into them incorrectly. I take them sometimes negatively. And I was talking to somebody and they said, well, why do you do that? It's just a text message. And I said, I think I do it because the text message, it's just written down, but it's not like a book, is it? A text message, somebody might say, I think I'm going to go and sit down, I'll talk to you later. That's fact, isn't it? Now in a book or on the telephone, you would get a vibe, you'd get a feeling, you'd get an understanding of that person's feelings. And when you read a book, it'll say, the person was feeling really tired and lethargic and they just needed some rest. So then they said to their friend, I'm feeling like I just want to go and have a sit down and I'll talk to you later. You get this build up, don't you? You get these emotions, you get these, you get a better understanding of the context. With a text, you just got the facts. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Of course, people convey feelings in text, but generally texts are not written out like a descriptive book, are they? And I don't think that I'm the only person who struggles with these things, and I don't necessarily think it's necessarily a mental health issue. I think it's what it is. I'm going to be looking a little bit into taking things literally. I'd love your feedback on if you take things literally. Am I just alone with this taking things literally? I've had a lot of issues and things flag up and misunderstandings with people from my taking things literally. Some of them are very funny, and some of them are not so funny. It's an area that I do want to delve into and look into. So, thank you for watching this slightly disjointed video. I will speak to you very soon, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.